Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Fall River Insider. I am your host, Colin Dice. Recurring star, Jeffrey Goodrow. Thank you for coming on, Jeff.
Thanks, man.
We have we have Boomer as well, our producer here, and we do make great shows every single week. Again, I want to thank you
Thank you
again
for having me by
having
lately.
on to discuss important city issues that mean a lot to the community, and I think we've been making some good progress getting the information out there to the resident. That's the most important thing about this show. Can't be remiss. We have a city council meeting today, everyone. City council meeting today. We're going to get into that. But before we get into that, we're going to get into a few issues that are on the agenda, specific issues, and then we'll go briefly into the agenda and talk about. We're also going to talk about the mayor's recent press release of ARPA funds and some questions that we may all have. But it's a nice day out today. It was a beautiful day out, Jeff.
All right.
And Jeff, is there anything you want to anything that caught your eye in the news this week, politically, locally?
Here in the city?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, between what you're going to bring up tonight and also with the issue with the bridge being closed,
we can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about whatever. I mean, I would like to know why all of a sudden this is coming. Everybody wants this down when it should have been used for different reasons. In past administrations.
I agree. I agree with you, Boomer. I mean, I should be down. It is an eyesore. I mean,
I understand it's an eyesore.
But I do wonder, like you just said, I wonder, why is it right this very second? Why now? What is it? They're trying to make a final push in the state house. Are they trying to get some?
It could be
media coverage, and they're actually something's going to come out of this in a couple months. I would think so. If they're bringing this up randomly, maybe people are just wanted to randomly bring up the subject.
I agree on all the above. This is campaign season for certain people for this year, so they want to go on topics and get things done.
I've noticed that. I've noticed a lot more statements from our state delegation. I've noticed that. And, we'll see what comes. We'll see what comes of it. And I will ask this, and I was very young. I'm going to ask both you, Jeff, and you, Boomer. You might know a lot more about this subject because I was like 9 years old when this was a big subject. LNG.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I grew up, and tell me if give me your own opinion. No, you don't tell me if I'm wrong, but I mean, just give me your own opinion on the matter. All I heard was how evil LNG was going to be. I remember hearing how the city was going to blow up.
I don't.
It's not paying the important people. It's all fear.
Yeah.
That's what I remember hearing growing up, and they kicked LNG out of the community. And I remember them saying that they're keeping that old bridge to keep LNG from ever stationing in Fall River. And is that what you remember, Jeff?
To be quite honest, I did not get into a lot of the politics in that issue here at that time. All I knew is
fair.
This is I got into city's politics in 2014. And of course, when it came to the bridge, going over to the bridge, it was still function. And of course, people were fishing, and I think there was people went over there because of fishing. Yeah. And of course, you had big boats and ships going into that area. So now it's still not being used.
Right, and I know it's the bridge, and this is the historian coming out. I mean, this bridge has been around since the 1900s. I can do a quick quick Google search, and I'm just saying from a historical value. And I mean, it does look like an eyesore. I'm not going to say it looks nice.
Guess
where
what?
It is.
It's the same issue in Providence. They have a bridge as is. Nobody's really doing anything for that. And I forgot the name of the bridge in Providence, but it's still it's an eyesore to certain people. So you see a lot of these are not being used.
So this bridge is over 100 years old, built in 1908.
Okay. Yeah.
And we all want it. We don't want that eyesore there, but just thinking, is there something we could maybe beautify this? I've heard talks of turning into a little fishing port where people can go on top of the bridge, we fix it up, and they could fish.
They should have done that years ago.
I agree with that. And it's definitely not too late. But the public at home, would you rather see this bridge just knocked down, or would you like to see something constructive done with this, or just the hell with it, knock it down?
Can go either way.
It could.
In my opinion, I think it's inhibiting them from putting up maybe another windmill and selling it out. That we know they're not doing anything for the people. So
no.
Anybody that wants to get rid of that, there's a reason behind it.
No, and I was just thinking. Now you're like, we're just thinking, what could be a possible reason for them wanting this bridge down now? Vineyard Wind.
Yeah,
or
I mean, at the end of the day, they have their reasons, and it's not because it's of aesthetics. Because if they cared about aesthetics, look outside. Open your windows, everybody. Look outside. Tell me the city cares about aesthetics. Look at your overgrown sidewalks, pothole streets, crap everywhere, trash everywhere.
Everywhere.
Panhandlers on every corner. The city doesn't care about aesthetics.
No.
So don't let them fool you into thinking that's the reason.
And I've always known, and it's been like this for a while, especially, and like I've noticed recently, it's always with this not even ministry, but these politicians, you always see them make a statement on a subject when they want like a kickback from it. Like one example would be and I'm not giving friends, but I'm not going into charter schools, anti-charter schools, but you saw the city and the city politicians speak out against charter schools.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving an opinion either way. I'm just saying it's just funny. You finally see them speak up on a subject, but when there's other issues that matter to people, you don't really see them speak up as much. Like, for example, you see our state delegation speaking up with this issue, but you don't see them speak up when Superintendent Malone was running roughshod over the district.
Special interests and friendships will always come. And then there's voting.
And I just brought before you came on the show, when I was on the Full Raw, Mikey and I were talking about the bullying issues, and of course, I'm sorry. Go on. And then it's what you were saying about Matt Malone, using his power and using his to his own abilities, and people didn't really do much about it.
I would like to do a show next weekend. I want you to come on bullying and the issues happening.
Yeah, I mean, we talk. Yeah, that's fine.
Because I want to make sure if we do a show on that, I want to make sure we're doing it right. I don't want to, I want to get all the facts in place so when we can discuss some solutions. I like to have someone else on the show as well so we can talk about some actual solutions to these issues. Because I feel like not many of the politicians not really anyone's giving many solutions to this issue, especially. And as the public will say, bullying has been an issue for a long time, almost forever in public schools. It's not like this is a new issue. You're just hearing about it. I think,
and I said, and I don't want to go on with this, but I will say when it comes to bullying, it has always been around for years, and it will always continue. I think it's because of social media platforms that's been on, with kids still using it on their phones, which of course you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be educated.
I think the lack of repercussions now is making it explode so much worse.
Oh yeah,
I was a punk kid in Durfee. Don't get me wrong. Like I didn't let anybody talk down. I didn't let anybody talk trash. Like it was what it was. If we fought, we fought.
It was what it. Yeah.
I was expelled from school for fighting, so I know what that's like. Hockey player wanted to pick on another little kid, freshman, hit the hockey player, got kicked out. Right, had to deal with it. Mr. Attal was the principal at the time. I'm gonna get you a job. You're gonna hold this job for the year if you want to come back to school. I had to go to work every day. Had to hold that job.
But Boomer,
he kept his word and let me back in school. Wow. But I learned a lesson, right?
You wouldn't see that today, though. You wouldn't see a principal saying, "Oh, if you go hold a job, you can come back." It's not like that anymore.
No, you won't see anything today. But you also don't see parents backing it up and making sure that their kids understand what they did was wrong. Right. They're going to the school, blaming the school and blaming the other kids and everything else. So we do have a parent issue. Don't get me wrong. But the school's covering it up. The school's pretending it's not happening. Listen, the stories that I have, if I showed you my phone right now, you'd be like, oh my God. Like people send videos. These teachers send videos. And it's like, wow, these kids can say and do whatever they want. Principals of schools walking right by like, okay, cool. Like they ignore it. It's like plausible deniability.
No,
they don't say anything. They don't interact. They don't have to get involved.
Exactly.
Not their problem. It's beneath them. So the kids see the principal walk by and they're still saying it.
Interesting.
Telling teachers, suck my, F you, whatever. You know what I mean?
And principals.
So if kids are getting away with this, well, the principal's walking by. He's supposed to be the most powerful person in the school, right? What's that kid going to do looking at a teacher saying that he's saying it to? All right, cool. I didn't get in trouble.
Well,
guess what tomorrow brings?
I can definitely say if we can discuss this more next week, and if you could try maybe get one of the school committee members.
That's what I was thinking.
I think we like her a little more as maybe Sarah, or
that's what I was thinking.
Or not.
I'll have anyone. I'll have
anyone,
Shelly,
and I'm not saying you to pick and choose who you like. It's just that who wants to talk about the series and what the
Boomer. See, I know you're thinking I'm crazy, but see if Mimi wants to come on. I don't care. I like to see. She's worked with kids. I like to see someone.
Would she be serious to be? Well, I'm just
we've been through this, and I know that Mimi was part of that regime that you didn't get along with and you didn't like.
But that has nothing to do with that, right?
Nope, I get it. But I've seen Mimi do wonders for the youth of the city. I may not agree with a lot of things that she falls into with people and friends or whatever. That's fine. But that doesn't say anything about what Mimi does for the kids in the city and how many kids she's helped.
That's what, that's what I'm saying.
I've seen it firsthand. I know Mimi has helped hundreds, even thousands of kids with work experience, college, preparing them for college, preparing them for the workforce, just keeping them out of trouble, safe places, picking kids up in the middle, having trouble picking kids up because they were afraid of their parents or whatever it was. Mimi, I've seen Mimi do that firsthand for years, decades. So her political side of things, I don't care about. I don't have to agree with. And she knows I don't agree with the Malone nonsense and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, Mimi as a person and what she does for the youth, she will always fight for the youth, and I'll give her that. 110% on Mimi's side for that. So Mimi coming in with some experience about it, sure.
Yeah.
I've offered it. I've offered to go to the schools and do anti-bullying training. I have it. I've done it. I literally have the freaking certificate from Harvard to do it. Ignored, deaf ears, because it's not one of their friends that they can pay. That's all it is. They don't care. If they actually cared, it would have already been done. They got to sell programs that they can get kickbacks from.
Right.
I don't do kickbacks.
No.
Simple as that. So there's a reality. There's answers out there. You know how long I've been volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club and talking to those kids? And
I know
toy drives and Christmas drives.
I know they do great.
Oh, yeah.
I know they do great
so,
work there.
So we've been doing this for years. It's there. It's just not on that level because they'd rather hide it or get paid for it. Either way, they're not doing any of this for the kids. Period. And that's not a school committee thing. That's the
when
whole.
When you say they, you're talking about
that's people in charge. That's administration. That's the administrative portions of the schools. That's all your higher ups. They have the answers right at their fingertips. They refuse to use them. They'd rather ignore the problem because why? Why spend money if they can't make money?
That's fair.
No,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I was just going to say I agree, and I hope I would like to talk about this next week if you like.
Absolutely.
No, we're going to have a show, yeah.
Because I got things. I mean, as I said with Mikey earlier before, you guys came on. So yeah, we can definitely talk about that. But I know you have other serious matters to discuss.
No, we do. And just while we're on school committee, this is going to be a city council
tonight.
We'll talk about other things today. But real quick on the school committee side from the last meeting, and I thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to get everyone's opinion on this. And you may not agree with my opinion, but I think it was wrong. So we had a member of I believe the ESL, the language department of the schools.
Yeah.
Of FRPS. I forgot the person who runs it there, but this person, and it comes back to taxpayer money. It all comes back to this person was advocating to the school committee for a position that the superintendent denied. That the superintendent said, no, we're not funding this position. And this person went before the school committee to try and get this position funded. Now, and Boomer, would you think that's insubordination?
I would. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's just because you believe in it doesn't mean it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, if the superintendent had a justifiable reason for not doing it, for not fighting for it, or thinking there was no need for it, then you failed to produce a reason that it's needed.
What was the reason for this?
That she should have that approval.
I don't know. I just know it was denied. I don't know the reason they denied it. But I think this speaks to the point. What was this person? This person trying to push through a position, insubordinately, and the taxpayers would have to have paid for this. I don't really understand. I think that's dishonest to the taxpayers.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's why I brought it.
I'm not familiar with the situation. I don't know. I don't know what the position was. Maybe she works in a position where she sees that need more than anybody else can, and from the inside, it's easy to see like, hey, this is what we need to make this work. Whereas the superintendent is going to run the whole city. She's going to run all the schools. You know what I mean? Like, she's not there the day-to-day to understand why she needs it, and maybe she didn't break it down to her the right way to give her the right feedback. Maybe that's a reason. There could be lots of things, but I'm not familiar with it, so I can't say yay or nay on it.
I understand. Yeah. All right, moving on to other subjects. So I think the next one we're gonna jump into is ARPA money, everyone. So we're talking about it a little bit before the show. ARPA money. So
love it.
Just to break it down real quick, the mayor made out. He said funny man?
Funny money.
Oh, funny money. But I say they're both pretty funny. Funny. Yeah. So speaking of funny money, so on Thursday, everyone, March 24th at 10 a.m., Mayor Paul Coogan will be holding a press conference in City Hall to celebrate. We're having a celebration. The first round of ARPA funds for Fall River ARPA funds from the Small Business Recovery Grant Awards. So I'm a little confused by this. Why is this? They didn't do anything when Frowood or BCEDC did this in 2020. They had another grant, not through, I don't believe, or maybe it was through the city. They had another grant and they went through. You don't usually apply for these city, like, not even a city grant. It's technically city with a cohort through the private sector to hand out to the public. You don't really see like press conferences about this. I think this is really political.
You don't say.
You don't say. Well, I mean, this is.
I don't mean to sound naive.
I don't believe it.
So no, so you were saying about this money is going to go for small businesses.
Couldn't do press conferences, earlier, all of 2021 because of COVID. But don't worry, we can do it now because COVID doesn't exist anymore. It's okay
for now.
Now we can do it because we're giving out money. We don't do it when we have to.
Don't jinx. I don't jinx it, Boomer. Don't jinx it. I'm already hearing the stories of another subvariant coming.
We kind of talked about that.
The CDC just dropped off. I forget the number, but there was a technical error, and they had to take off like 24% of the COVID deaths of 18.
Really?
Weird how that happened. What a coincidence.
Ooh.
24%.
All right, so going on. So speakers, they're gonna have speakers at this event to acknowledge 49 Fall River businesses. So we know it's Fall River. I mean, it would have to.
Are they in Fall River?
They have to be.
The businesses, probably. The owners, maybe not.
I would like. I'm just curious.
We'll be able to find out.
I'm pretty sure it has to be.
So
they don't. It has to be.
So this does not. So nobody knows.
Yes.
Well, they don't know. We won't know until during his speech of who they are and where they're located.
Most likely, but we can find this.
Are there small business?
Public record, I'm sure. There's got to be.
Yeah, there will be.
My only issue. Well, you know what? My only issue with this is, I would like to know if they're going to go for small business that were struggling during the COVID of 2020 all the way to 2021.
Yes,
honestly, it might just be businesses that actually apply.
Well,
they have to show a need for. They have to show some sort of need for. No, I'm sorry. So now I really studied this issue for months before the show because I was looking into this when they announced all these funds.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to show, I believe, during 2020 and 2021. No, I can come back to this, but they have to show one of these fiscal years. They have to show that they lost revenue.
We couldn't open the doors. We couldn't advertise. We can't market. Of course, you lose revenue. You couldn't feed people. You couldn't have people come to work. Every single person in the city lost revenue except City Hall.
Well, let's
talk about the water department got a raise.
Oh yeah, well, we can shut down everything else, and everybody can still get a pay raise there.
Well, yes. I'm gonna pull up Ken Filo's email he sent to me. I asked him a few questions on the ARPA funds, and I just want to make sure I really don't want to misquote this because I do have all the information. So I just want to make sure they're not going to show like 2021 funds from 2019 because then that would be
of course.
No, you have to go by from how this took place. So
while my emails load, I hate. Well, let's go while the it's okay. While the emails load, let me read a little bit of the here we go. Perfect. So I have so let me see. I have his email up right here. So it's going to be the program allocation that they gave is a total 3.26 million. So they allocated to businesses $157,000, and that's not including the administrative costs to BCEDC. I don't know if they get that all in one fell swoop or not, but at least $157,000 of this over $3.26 million has been allocated. So businesses with 5 or less employees would be eligible for a $2,500 grant. Businesses with 6 to 10 employees will be eligible to receive a $5,000 grant. And their target business audience is a mixture of 1,000 to 1,200 small businesses which employ 10 or less employees. If we are successful, there may be a possibility, subject to ARPA committee approval, to secure more funding to provide grants to an additional number of businesses.
And they're all grants. It's not loans. This is all grants.
The money goes to them.
So they're giving this money away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I can't wait to see this list.
Me either.
And it will be public record.
Like don't get me wrong. It's pennies on the dollar when you own a business because running the business is expensive. Yeah, I get that.
Rents up. How many people are working here in the city? I mean,
try paying even minimum wage right now.
I'm just going by. Let's just say, just our downtown area. You got Harry's restaurant. You got the pawn shops. You got Well, I don't know if you want to count Subway because
you got the music store.
The music store.
The bridal show.
I don't think you want to count. I don't think you count Subways. No
you got TA restaurant.
It's a company.
You got everything.
Right.
Hot dogs. You got everything.
That's what because it has not. The money does not go to. Again, you have to count how many, like up to 10 to 12 employees, and how many you barely see people looking for waitress or cookers or for
chefs,
the past 2 years, because people don't want to work. People were on unemployment.
Yep. But unfortunately, those businesses still lost, and they're losing still because you can't find the help.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
But we created that problem.
No. People just did not want to work.
So I do agree. The businesses definitely can use the money. It's definitely not, and it's not an extreme amount of money where it's
but it's money
bankrupt us, and it's money that was given to us for that need.
Yeah,
I think more of that money should go to that need.
Should be more. Yeah, I agree. So more money should be.
I don't know why we need a third-party conduit and give these kickbacks, administrative fees, but just to continue, I have the city's correspondence from actually Ann O'Neill Souza on some of these same questions. So jobs for Fall River will be required to meet quantified objectives and performance measurements. Jobs will be required to submit an annual report in accordance with the guidelines established by the Fall River ARPA committee. Again, these people are establishing guidelines, and we're going to get into this. This ARPA committee seems to have a very important role in the allocations of these dollars, yet they're having secret meetings. I don't understand that, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let me read all the information that was given to me by the city. The city will also monitor the performance of jobs against the goals and performance standards stated above. Jobs will be required to be in compliance with the agreement for program administration activity scope, which states, in quote, the small business community in the city of Fall River has been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many small businesses have closed, and the ones currently operating have lost a significant amount of revenue and profit during the pandemic. Small businesses were required to close during quarantine and are currently operating with reduced hours. The Small Business Grant Assistance Program will provide businesses that are negatively impacted by the pandemic with grant assistance. Businesses currently operating with 5 employees or less would receive $2,500, and businesses with 6 to 10 employees would receive $5,000. The activity is funded with $3,260 of American Rescue Plan Act funding. $3 million is for direct assistance to businesses, up to $250,000 for the administration of the program, that's the BCEDC, and up to $10,000 for advertising. Depending on demand, additional commitment of grant funding will be needed. And lastly, and to answer our question from before, a list of all businesses receiving grant funding will be reported by Jobs to the City of Fall River. The listing of businesses receiving grant funding will be a public record that can be requested by anyone.
So I remember last year, because you're saying, and I'm trying to go different topics, because remember when people were asking, the mayor and everybody was doing the ARPA fund for open to the public, and you're saying this one is separate, but this was private.
What's private? I'm sorry.
You're saying that it was private meeting.
Oh yeah.
So why wasn't this open to people?
So the mayor set up his ARPA committee.
Yeah, I remember that.
He set up the ARPA committee, and they have these meetings to decide where they're going to allocate the funds. Apparently, the mayor's not allocating it himself. The mayor's office isn't. It's the ARPA committee.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to cut you off because
this
does not go to like nonprofits. These monies do not go to nonprofits, right? Like Seven Hills, or
if they have, I'd make the argument it could if they have up to 10 employees.
Now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious to know when this comes out. I would like to know the business and who they are.
You wouldn't, and so you can right to your opinion. You wouldn't want to see nonprofits get it?
No, because they already make a lot. Because we talked about this last week about or some people were saying that those who make grants should pay if they make more money than other small business.
Right, and you can make that. I agree with you. Jeff, and we can make that argument for everyone. As I said, and it's our job to fact check it. Fact check this is our job to actually hold the administration, BCEDC, accountable with this. These businesses have to show a need for the funds. They had to have shown they were negatively impacted.
In issues, or they have to close, or they were, went out of business.
Yes.
Would they still get that if they were out of business?
So
I don't know.
No. Great question. And the question I would have, just thinking off the top of my head, what if they received funds like federal monies from when they had to shut down?
That's something this is almost like that, because wasn't the government had so much that we're going to give millions of dollars for business around the other states.
Because I don't want to see a random businesses get receive these funds, and if they already had plenty of cash from other sources during the pandemic, and they're just trying to get an extra amount. It should go to businesses that currently need the funds.
Needs it more. Yeah, I totally agree. So,
Boomer, anything you want to add to that?
Nope, you guys are covering it.
No.
Good.
So the press conference, let's go back to it, is tomorrow, 6 to 10. Everything looks the same on here. Not tomorrow. It's going to be Thursday. It's going to be interesting. I really want to see where these funds are going to such and such businesses. I think it's going to be interesting where to go and see who speaks at this press conference. I'm sorry. Your question's answered in this press release. The program was designed to distribute streamlined funding to Fall River's nonprofit and for-profit small businesses. So yes, nonprofits can receive these funds.
Can?
Yes.
Well, now I'd like to see who they are now, since 49 of them are going to receive it.
49 businesses, not 49 nonprofits.
Oh, well, still, I would like to. Now I'm curious.
And just moving on, and real quick before we go completely into city council, So, and I think this is a good idea. I was talking about it with Mikey right before the show. And I think this is a good idea. I'm going to call it. If I see something good, I'm going to call it for how it is. City Councilor Trotley is hosting he's the chairman of the Committee on Health and Environmental Affairs. He's having a meeting, and that's next Thursday, not this Thursday, coming up next Thursday, to discuss water supply and filtration. What issues with the water? I know they discussed the lead issues we've been having.
And only certain locations, right?
Certain locations. We're going to find out, and I think it's a good idea. Councilor Lee wants to have quarterly updates so the public is aware of what's happening, what's going on, and what updates the administration might have for us, and that's just holding government accountable. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, no, because this took place. This happened in what, mid-January or February of this year? Was there an issue with that?
I believe this came about. I remember came about. Not too long ago. Came about right after the election, December.
Oh, I would say like late last year that they had some. It was
after. I remember it was after the election.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I remember going to I was going to the What Type of Water Board meeting, and their chairman Pearson, he resigned that meeting. I remember that, so I know that was in either November or December, or it could have even have been the new year, but I believe it was December. But
and yet we're supposed to have clean water. We have really good clean water in the city, and yet everyone's getting lint.
And I'm really excited to see. We can talk about it. That's going to be a closed meeting. Everyone should watch and to see if we have any ongoing issues. And to make sure something we need to be concerned about, because we don't want lead in our water. That's not,
of course not.
For the millions and millions and millions of dollars we spend,
we're spending
millions and millions of Fiji water. Just so we're clear, I should have Fiji logos coming around my sink.
Fiji water. I don't even drink that brand.
Just so we're clear.
Oh my gosh. So, all right, time to go into the city council meeting. There's and there's a lot of issues going to be discussed currently.
Is there? Because I only see not that many items of tonight's meeting.
Well, that's why we need to break it down. I like how they have the very small font.
So that's the only topic that they're having for tonight, right? Or is it
these issues right here? I mean,
okay,
and I think they're very important for the
community. Yeah.
So, the mayor wants to establish the water and sewer rates.
Not surprised on that.
He wants to increase it. We discussed that on the show already.
More increases.
Hopefully, the city council
taxpayers.
The city council needs to deny him. We need to make a stand that we're not going to accept any more increases.
They're not going to care.
We'll see.
We just talked about.
If we say they're not going to care, we got to do something about it. Then we can't
by voting them out.
Election. I'm sorry, Jeff.
No. We just voting is the point. If you're not happy by increasing water, if you're not happy on something, don't vote for them.
I have the opinion of vocal minorities make a big difference, and we just seen it. We just submitted all 7 of us just submitted letters to the school committee. They changed something we didn't like. We had a victory. Again, we have a lot of vocal people in the city who speak up for the taxpayer, for accountability in government, and we all need to come together more. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. We need to come together more. We need to speak at city council meetings when we have something we disagree with. We need to speak at school committee meetings when we have something we disagree with. We need to speak at these water boards, sewer boards. We can't.
My only suggestion on that, and I said this, you've got to be serious to go to these council meetings or send out letters if you cannot make it. Show them how upset you are, no matter what the issue is, no matter we have different opinions. Like I may disagree on some stuff, but when it comes to raising up more fees, raising up more taxes, when it comes to voting for schools or something, you gotta say enough.
But here's a big part of that is a lot of people don't know how to do it, don't know what needs to be done. Then you have, like we're going to talk about next week, you have your bullying. People are afraid to speak up in this city because they've seen the targeting, they've seen what happens when you go against it. You know how many people said, you have my vote, but I can't put up a sign because you know what's going to happen. Like that is living under fear. That is a problem. So how are we going to address bullying when it's literally runs our city?
It's in our own government.
It runs our city. runs our state, but more importantly, runs our city.
Well, you know what? I prefer, you know what, and I'm not saying I'm agreeing with that, but I'm saying like I could agree on, you know, you're being picked on if we're older, we're grown up people, but I don't support when the kids like to bully on people because I'm a man, I'm a grown up. You could pick on me all you want, I can take it. You know, everyone's different, but yeah, I can. You know,
but that trend is taught.
Well, no. When it comes to saying, I am not supposed. I'm not going to say names, unfortunately, but I can say it after. But I cannot have anyone put signs on my landlord on the fence where I live because in the past people were like, I don't want this guy's. You know, I'm not gonna have this city council put on my sign. Take it down. I'm like, just tell me. And then you know, I've not argue with the landlord. I've argued with my brother. He's like, don't ask the landlord to put any campaign signs unless they are friends with them. That's the problem we have. So it's like, you know,
that good old boy
system runs deep. That's the next interesting question. If you can put, if you're, and I looked this up, if you are a tenant, you're renting, you're a rentee, you're in a property. If there is no specific clause for a sign, if they don't ban it in the rental agreement, signs on the property, you can put a sign all you want.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
I did not know that.
I thought it was only in like you could do it, but it has to be in like your window, like your specific area, because I don't believe the property itself is the rental agreement. The apartment might be. You could be right, but I think you have like permission to do it. Like if you have a balcony, you could put it on your balcony.
If you have, well, here's the thing: if you
still try to evict you anyway because clearly he's just like the friends. But
if you have a let's say you're renting a house and you have like a yard, you can put a sign in the yard. That's what I was talking. I should have been more clear with that.
So a single family, you mean?
Like single family.
Well,
single family, you can put
because you're renting the whole property at that point. But I think apartments, it's a shared entity.
No, you're right.
So maybe that's different.
You're right.
I think that would be different. But I didn't really meet too many landlords that were against it. You know, obviously they're like, whatever, I'll deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't too bad. But there were some businesses that were like, hey, I'll host, I'll go to your fundraisers, I'll donate, I'll do whatever you need. You know that, but I can't put up signs because you know what's going to happen. That's a problem.
No, that is a problem.
And we need to start calling that out.
Nobody to back it. They don't have these businesses. They don't have the money to back them up and fight, right? They don't have it. So to go in front of the city council and go in front of the mayor and go in front of the school committee and all this stuff and bitch and moan, you know, this is why people give up.
That's why nobody really wants to run.
With an iron fist. That's what we do. We just do it behind closed doors now. That's all it is.
Unfortunately.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too naive, but I'm just so like sick of that. Like I want to fight the power.
Well, we are sick of it, but you know,
he's like an 80s rock band. I love it. Colin was born in the wrong era.
Honestly, I think I was. A couple more things on the agenda. So there's actually a lot of things on this agenda.
Yeah,
so they want to so now the mayor wants a third political supporter of his on a board. And
let's talk about these.
And let me just start it off. And then I'd like to hear everyone's opinion. We talked about it. I don't think you're here for this episode. So by charter, Jeff, or maybe you were. By charter, Jeff, the mayor says that's what it says in the charter. The mayor has to put on the city website a list of all board vacancies and instructions on how to apply.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you think he did that?
I don't think he
did. No, he didn't do that.
No, he nominated his friends.
He nominated his friends.
Weird. I wouldn't want somebody that disagrees with me either, so I can spend money.
This is non-paying, right? These three tonight's vote. They're gonna vote whether they approve them or not, right? Or discuss.
Some of these could be paying. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't know if they're paying or not.
So this is. I'm just saying because the last issue that we had with people like working at the park board or they don't get paid. Is that what you like? These are certain positions.
Yes. No, I don't think they get paid. No, I don't. Honestly, if it's a $1,500 stipend, I don't really care about that. I care about how they're going to vote for the city. Again, if they're doing the bet, they're best job and the best interest for the city, I really don't care. They get
If they have the skills,
$1,500 stipend. That doesn't matter. What the issue is here, in my opinion, you can disagree, is, and this had been happening for as long before we were even born, as these positions they're packing these boards with political supporters that will vote for their interests.
I'm not arguing on that. I was just
again, two of the three of these people on this position have donated to Mayor Coogan.
I know, and one of them is Laura Washington.
Yes, and again, nothing against her, but it's just making the point of we need to have new representation. We need more checks and balances of how, and I think the charter, is one of the good issues, the good subjects on this charter, something that shouldn't be changed.
What is the criteria for being on this board? And how do these people meet any of it?
Here's speaking about criteria, in our ordinances, they do give out slightly a criteria for being on the board. Again, if you just want to help out your community, that's fine. Yeah. But the Sewer Commission, for example, they specifically require both an engineer and an attorney. I know they have the attorney.
Right.
I don't know if they have the engineer. And I hope that's the same question. I sent this to the city council, and I just hope they look into that and they ask that question. Do we have an engineer? If they have an engineer, then, I still wanted to support this because I still think we need to follow the section of the charter that says we need to lay out the boards and the board and commission vacancies and instructions on how to apply. That is a transparent process. Mm-hmm. That shows who's getting denied through the interview process,
right,
and who's getting accepted. Because
why?
And you know what I mean? Because anyone applying to, you can ask anyone to be on the board, but there's no formal interview process. There's no way we can hold people accountable for denying other people because you want your friends on there.
I agree. For example, if I'm friends, I know people in the city. Of course, I know you and I know Paul. But it's like, I would like to be, let's say, if I want to get involved in the park board, do I know a lot of stuff in the park? I can learn it. I see issues at the park all the time. What can I do to that? So I'm like, hey Paul, it's all right if I get an interview to be involved and get I don't want to be named that I support him or something like that. I like to get a chance. And of course,
yes.
Do I know people in the city council? Yes. Do I want them to vote for me? Yes, but don't vote for me because you're my friends. Vote for me that I can do the job and see, because I'm not getting paid if on certain positions.
And that's the thing, exactly, Jeff. I 100% agree with
you. Holding me accountable is not a bad thing. Holding me accountable is a good thing.
I agree with that.
But we don't put people in positions to do that is the problem.
And I just want someone who's going to go, again, a board or commission, if you're starting out, you may not know, as long as we're following our ordinances that we have, the appropriate engineer, we have the attorney. The other are just someone. The others, for mainly all other positions, unless it's specified, says city resident, interested city resident. That's how it is for a lot of these board and vacancy commissions. If you're just a resident who's eager to help out their community, but you may not know them, you shouldn't have to know the mayor. You shouldn't have to donate to his campaign or know a certain politician to be able to get on. You should be able to have that fair opportunity, because we have plenty of vacancies, and in this administration, as along with a lot of previous ones, only support and appoint their friends, and that needs to change. And it's laid out in the charter on how that can change. We're not following the law. The city council down the street needs to stick up and not support any more appointments until we're following the charter regarding appointments.
Who's the third person?
Paul Amaro.
No, I know him. Who's the other one?
Oh, Rebecca Collins.
I don't know anything about her.
Wow. She's a supporter of the mayor. I'll just leave it.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah.
No, I know. Nice. I'm not nice person.
If you're gonna make things obvious, that's the one way to do it.
That's probably Mayor Coogan's one of his biggest supporters, and on record, she told me once on record. I'll go back and look. I support Mayor Coogan. I support Superintendent Malone. She supported Superintendent Malone through all these issues. Just keep that in mind.
I understand what you're saying, and it's the same thing with what's her face. She was involved with the second recall. and she got approved. I forgot her name.
Laura Wash.
No, not Laura.
Dawn Charette.
Yeah, like her. Like I don't, she was like,
Yep.
she's like, if you don't like this is when the Durfee school project came. If you don't like the support of children, move out of Fall River. I'm like, this little bitch.
All right.
I wonder
I'm
where
like,
she stands on
really?
Diamond supporting
I'm like,
children.
okay.
I wonder if she means the Diamond children or just the Durfee ones. That's weird.
No. This was
I didn't see her speak up for Diamond.
No, that's fair.
But she was very but she was very quiet, and then people started talks with her about why is she being, because she was supported with the mayor and the recall and all that.
Let's leave it at that. I don't know. We'll leave it at that. I'm not letting I disagree. I wouldn't have voted for the appointment. I think we need to diversify the boards for more support, not just having supporters of a single administration. I will speak my mind here. I do think she cares about the city, and I have known her for a while, and I will admit that I think she does care about the city. Do I agree with her on a lot of things? Did I agree with her in this recent election? No, I haven't. And I wouldn't. As a city councilor, I probably wouldn't have voted to have her on that specific board, just because again, speaking to the charter, speaking to my personal beliefs. But I'll definitely leave it at that. But I definitely agree with you, Jeff. And I think we're all in agreement here that we need more people who just want to help the city and don't have to be tied into a certain administration. That needs to change. I hope the city council tonight makes that message clear. All right, going back down the list. We're gonna have a new Director of Financial Services. I don't know anything about her.
No, I don't know either.
Who is it?
She's from like Rhode Island. Her name's Bridget Almond.
From Rhode Island?
Yeah, I think she's from Bristol or something. That's what I heard on a CJ show. I don't know anything, but I don't know anything about her.
But we're here to build Fall River better.
Exactly. Well, that's something I wanted to bring up after.
We don't have anybody
bring it up now. We're on it.
We have nobody qualified in the city.
And that's something I wanted to bring up with somebody outside of Fall River, and they're going to come here. It's like, and again,
I think they have to, unless the city council can choose to waive it, they have to be city residents, or they have to move into.
That's something. Again, this is something I wanted to bring up. Topic, and I mean, I know you have a lot on the other subjects here. No, but I want to bring this after.
You can let's bring it up now.
No, okay. So lately, because I heard a lot of people calling on WSAR about whether or not the mayor can or people from outside of Fall River, whether if they're a firefighter or anyone that can come into our city and get paid and not live in the city. Now, do you support on somebody that we should pick someone who has a qualification from the city? For example, like
you're talking about firefighters.
I believe that's whatever they are. That's something. It's like that everybody's saying that we should have a chief of the police out, not from itself in the city, but outside.
I think when you speak about firefighter and police officers, that's selected, and Boomer could speak to this probably better than me. That's through selective service, and I think if you're from Fall River, and you will get preferential treatment for Fall River.
Yes,
if you're applying, so the Fall River residents are preferred by law. They get preferential treatment if they apply for something civil service like fireman and police officer. I would agree with you with that. We should go, that same standard should apply to everything.
Yeah. So qualification. Do you have?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to live here. You have to be.
You have to live here.
Yeah, you have to.
But yeah, some people
at least for a certain amount of time anyway, and then you can move out later.
Well, I heard
you talking about being a police officer,
firefighter.
No, you don't. You can live outside. You can be from outside the city.
Fire department. I'm pretty sure you have to.
Not if you're a chief.
Fire department.
Yeah,
like if you're going after a higher position, like a chief or
chief. All right, and I believe my uncle took that away with the chief. I know. He took that, or he brought it in, or he took it out of civil service. I think he took it out of civil service. I don't remember that. Boomer, do you remember that? I was 14.
For what?
When he took away the civil service requirement or whatever for chief, and then the McCougan's cousin was in.
Yeah, I don't think I really paid too much attention at that point. Because honestly, I don't care if you want to be a cop and you don't have enough applicants. If you take somebody from outside the city before taking a city resident, then I have a problem. But if you only have 10 residents that want to do it and you got 30 positions to fill, hey, that's the resident's fault for not taking it. So
I agree.
That I agree with that aspect of it. However, having to be from the city, I disagree with.
All right, that's fair. What do you think, Jeff?
I just think that if you have someone from the city, they get first priority.
That's what I agree. First priority.
So you're going to tell me there was nobody else, nobody in the 100,000 people we have that was qualified to do this job?
No, I know. That's what I'm agreeing. Is like, why can't we find someone in this city that has a qualification that can do something for the administration?
I mean,
that works for the government.
All right, let's like just what Boomer said. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I like to see who actually applied for the position of director of financial services.
Yeah.
If she was the only one that applied, or like the only one that applied with real qualifications, I mean, again, what can you do? It's the resident's fault, like Boomer said. But again, I think it speaks more to the need of transparency of where we need to see who applied for a position or what their qualifications are and what the qualifications are of their other people who apply. But again, here's a big thing, and this is what the city loves to do, especially on the school department, to hide information. They'll use the personnel statute and the public records law to hide any personnel records. That's Mayor Coogan's like number one word, the personnel matter. That's anyone's in this administration number one word.
As soon as they find a way to hide information,
personnel matter. He did that with the police issue.
They do that with everything. Any issue they can. As long as they don't have to tell people the truth, they're going to hide it every chance they can.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say that's just Mayor Coogan.
It's anyone.
Seems to be the trend with everybody.
Yeah.
It's not just him.
No.
Because quite frankly, I don't believe he even knew it existed until somebody told him.
I agree.
Not to say he's dumb, but at the end of the day, he didn't know that.
He didn't.
Somebody told him that. Somebody showed him that.
Like the issues from last summer, everybody.
Like our city attorney that only works for the administration, not the actual city. That guy.
Him. Oh boy.
If you ask him, I remember he says every meeting. Now I work for the city. I work for the city council. I don't work for the administration.
The last time I seen him in a city council meeting, and this is when I knew some of the councils.
He was at the Diamond meeting.
No, I know. That was the last.
He's not too bad. He's pretty.
They kind of like him.
He seems pretty fair. That other guy, that guy is awful. In my opinion, we're not going based on opinions. Well, which is it? Your opinion or everybody else's opinions don't count? I don't know.
Opinions are opinions. I want facts, factuals. Give me something that
He's a lawyer. Right. He's going to give you facts when he can, but opinions when he can't.
A legal opinion is basically,
it's facts in their mind.
it's an educated opinion. I'm not trying to offend the guy, but that's the way he's going to say a legal opinion means a lot. Like, you know what I mean? You have to go and appeal legal opinions. Judge Macy's legal opinion stopped Joshua Hetzler from appearing on the ballot. When a lawyer, especially the city lawyer, makes a legal opinion, that is a binding opinion that has to be filed unless it's challenged. So, it means more than just me and you making an opinion. But I'm not saying he's right most of the time. I'm not saying he's always right. I'm just saying that's the mindset when you have an attorney.
No, I totally agree on that part because I have my opinions with the whole issues with the people going after the charter issues on taking it to court not once but twice and it failed. So yeah, that's public record.
And another issue and I really don't agree with this one at all. And I think Boomer's gonna disagree more than me. They are. No. I think you're gonna disagree with this more than me. I really do. So the mayor wants to reorganize a lot of city positions, city government, and then he's not doing it to stream. He's not doing it to streamline. He's making more positions. He's making
more positions for
bigger government, more taxes. I don't believe it.
Wow.
The Democrat way, I don't believe it.
And
I don't believe you.
Believe it.
I don't believe it.
So.
Viola have a sister needs a job or something? What do we got?
Exactly. More friends. Hey, yeah, I'll give you a job.
No, actually,
it's like working for Sprint. Friends and family for everyone. I love it.
More issues for taxpayers.
So basically, DCM Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Inspectional Services, Department of Engineering and Planning, and as I said, these and the Department of Facilities Maintenance and Department of Community Maintenance it's all going to fall under a main department. It's going to fall under a bigger department, which is going to be the Department of City Operations.
They got their own operations center, huh?
Wow.
Yes.
Now, do they need other people to run this center, or are they just going to put all these people together and be like, okay,
you're
the head.
More people.
You guys should be up. Are they increasing positions as well?
No, they're making a whole new position. There's going to be a director of city operations. And I'm assuming they need staff. It's not in there yet.
Well, wouldn't those people that are there be the staff?
It's its own department.
See, this is why it's
if the health department, DCM, all those workers already work in those departments. They're just going to pool them all together under one facilitator.
Umbrella, yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
So
if
he's only creating one position to run all of those, maybe I'm not upset about it. However, what about all of those department heads already?
They're going to be there. No. They're going to be there, and they're making a new position for this new position. We'll find out now.
Yeah, I need more clarification on that.
Yeah, so
they are making a director of city operations. Wait, let me look at the actual.
We need somebody else to run the city. That's weird.
Wait, let me. I apologize. Let me.
So we have a mayor, a city administrator, and a city operations personnel.
Let me read let me read the proposed ordinance the mayor wants to put in. I apologize. All right. So, Department of City Operations. A. Establish. There shall be a Department of City Operations, which shall be under the supervision of the Director of City Operations. So they're making a separate department for this.
Yeah.
Divisions. The divisions within the Department of City Operations shall be the Division of Community Maintenance, the Divisions of Facilities Maintenance, and the Division of Community Services. The Division of Community Maintenance within the Department of City Operations shall include the Streets and Highway section and the Sanitation section.
Okay.
It's
that we sub out anyway. Okay.
The Division of Community Services within the Department of City Operations shall include the Parks Division, Cemeteries and Trees Division, and the Library Division. Maybe you just try
the library.
I'm okay with this so far.
Department of Financial Services shall be amended by inserting in subsection B Purchasing Division, so that the Purchasing Division shall be included as a division of the Department of Financial Services. Department of Health and Human Services established. There shall be Department of Health and Human Services, which shall be under the direction of the Director of Health and Human Services. The divisions within the department.
Is a useless pool of people. I've dealt with them all during COVID. Useless.
The divisions within the Department of Health and Human Services shall be the Nursing Division, the Food and Milk Inspectors, Tobacco Control, Mass and Motion, and Youth Services.
Huh.
Okay.
Why do you have Tobacco Control?
Why? Well,
because that's.
Why is that a city position for what?
I can see how that's health and services in a way. I could see how that bothers. They do a lot of the fines of people selling to underage and kids and things like that. So kind of like a protective
but isn't
thing.
that supposed to be state?
So
wide?
What's that?
Statewide.
I've never heard.
We have city personnel that do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's usually a part-time position too, like minimum hours. But lately, from what I understand, it got increased, which it shouldn't have. But
all right.
But there is one person in charge of it too, which it shouldn't be a two-person job. Literally, one person can handle that job. You stipend kids to go buy underage kids to go buy cigarettes. That's all you should do. Pay the kids. Why are we paying full salaries for this? It's not rocket science, guys. Kid went in, bought cigarettes, fine them. Done. Not a problem. This isn't rocket science. I need a whole operations center to run this.
But
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe.
Glad he's not running special ops.
Now we're talking about drugs and nicotine because we dealt with this, and isn't that what the state had an issue? It's
weird.
Because they
where's the opioid director?
There is none.
Where's the whole department that's controlling the number one actual pandemic we have? Weird.
No, yeah.
Weird. We have one person that runs around the city aimlessly, day and night, phone nonstop, that's helping the homeless and dealing with that as best she can. That's what we have. It's bullshit.
I feel like he made this. I'm not even kidding.
You think he makes things up?
I think he made it bigger in a way.
Oh,
I'm looking at the
bigger.
actual chart showing. I'd have to look at last year's chart, and we can come back to this Friday.
Yeah, we have everything.
I think he made it. I
so
think
far,
he made it bigger.
So far, I'm not against it. Like I'm all about streamlining. I'm all about having accountability.
That's why I don't think.
Because right now, these departments report to nobody apparently, and they can just do whatever they want and get paid.
Yeah,
they're just an other
or being lazy.
Writers. Basically.
If you're doing your job right, you can get paid. If you're not,
so I agree with the accountability portion. I agree with having them under an umbrella. I agree with them having that funnel system of it. But
all right, so moving on next.
Coogan gets a point. All right.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, so far he gets a point.
We'll see.
We'll give him half a point so far.
Oh, we'll see. So the last two things I want to talk about. One, I agree with 100%, 100 million %. One of these, I disagree with 100 million %. And I'll give Coogan the point for this.
Percent.
Wait,
wow.
I'll give Coogan a point right now.
Full point or half point?
No, full point. Okay. I think you're good. So he wants to give a real estate tax exemption to Gold Star parents.
Okay.
So what?
Gold Star parents.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I support that. Yeah.
He also, and this is where I don't agree.
He should do that for all veterans, but that's just me. But go ahead.
Well, the city has a lot of veterans
that they only take care of certain ones. But yes,
yeah.
What would you what would happen if you're married? All right, no, all right. What would you say if you're married? If you're a veteran, you're married to someone.
You only get it on your main property. You can't use it on your investment properties, things like that. So let me rephrase how I would say that. Veterans do deserve that.
And they
break.
do 100%.
They've done more than enough. For nothing against first responders, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, veterans deserve that break. All veterans, not just lost this, whatever. All veterans deserve that.
Yeah.
Got it. And I mean fully served veterans, not the ones like I served 16 months and went to basic training and got.
So it has to be full time.
Like actually an honorable discharged veteran, completion of service, did their job. You know what I mean? That person. I don't care if they did reserve, guard, army, Marines. I don't care. But at the end of the day, those veterans deserve the break.
Yes.
Now it's on your main living property. If you own a 3-family down the street, you don't get another tax break.
This isn't the mayor making up his own rules of who gets this money. It's going by mass general law. Mass general law allows you to give certain property tax provisions to certain in the city can enact it or not.
So it has allowed this, and they've never done it.
No, yes.
That's weird.
They're doing
they
it
could
now.
give you tax breaks and never did it. That's awesome.
Yes, they had the option to under mass general law, but it gives you a lot of options for a lot of different groups.
Okay.
The next one, I don't disagree. I think this is going to lead to a lot of corruption. I'm sorry, but property is held in trust. So if you hold a property in trust,
I don't know.
I'm not sure that that's just something he's making up though. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ways to beat the system. Putting things in trust, taking it out of your name, doing those kind of things, so the government can't tax it is always been what the wealthy do. And honestly, if the average person did more of that, one, the government will probably find a way to screw you over anyway. But
they get rid of the law.
You get rid of money. And so he's not reinventing the wheel here. I think
he's using a mass general law. But I just don't. I don't think they should.
I agree with the trust stuff because here's how you got to look at the trust stuff. You have children. You leave your children, your properties, all this stuff. The government is taxing them on that. You leave it in a trust to them, it's not taxed. Now your children get what you actually left them, what you worked for your family, not the government getting paid for it. The same government that taxes you for dying, that government.
Oh.
Yeah, that government. So I do agree with that. I do agree with having things held in trust. I do. I agree with the government not being able to tax life insurance policies. I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
You're looking at it from...
I'm looking at it from the perspective of you work your life away to provide for your family. And I know you're young. I know you don't have kids yet. But someday you're going to be sick of the government taking your family's money for themselves and their greed. So I agree with that. So I give them a point for that. I do.
You think this can lead to problems but
it's not going to lead to any more problems than we already have. The wealthy already know this trick. The only problem is they didn't teach it to you. That's the difference. The wealthy have been doing this forever. They all know this. You think all these real estate moguls out here, all these friends and family over here, you think they don't do this already? Of course they do. You think that property is under Joe Schmo or under this guy? No. It's under a trust or an LLC. Nothing is in their names. You're not getting anything because guess what? You get hurt on that property, you're not suing them for their property, their house and their stuff. You're suing the trust that just owns this. Mm-hmm. You can't go after everything else. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Like, that's the system.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree on
that. Yeah,
that.
that's fine. But I'm okay with, you shouldn't be able to take everything from someone because you fell or because you sipped hot coffee and burnt your lip. You know, stupid stuff. But that's what comes down the road with that. But not being able to tax the next person in line for that, for a trust, absolutely. I agree with that.
All right. Do we have any comments?
No.
All right. Jeff, you want to add anything to that?
I'm not a veteran, but my father served, so I mean he's he's no longer here. So I don't have much to say on this, but I support what agree to disagree and see where it goes and see how it works out. So I was gonna say to disagree on this fight. Come on.
I'm not talking about. Oh no, we all agree on the veteran.
No, yeah.
I don't say anything about that past. Like, no, I'm talking about the property held in trust.
Well, what's your opinion? I don't have much opinions on that now.
I would research it a little bit.
Just research it a little bit more.
Research it a little bit and see what you think.
Yeah,
all right, that's fair.
I would.
All right, everyone. That was a great show.
Yeah.
Today. We're gonna go watch at least I'm gonna go watch the city council meeting. Hope everyone.
I will watch it at home because I have something else going on. So.
Okay. When were you going to the city council meeting?
I got one more presentation to make because we got a new show starting on Thursday. So
hey,
look out for the Hustlers podcast because that'll be starting on Thursday evening.
Okay.
All right.
So I got to put all that together now, and then when I'm done here, I'll text you and let me know if it's still going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see how it is.
Oh wait,
we'll see everyone.
The last thing I know we're not gonna stop. What's going on with the mayor veto with the diamond? Because I saw that in the agenda.
I think it's just too late. I think once they laid down a table, the city council took their vote. I think this is too late.
Okay, yeah.
The diamond's going to happen regardless. That's going to happen. But as we talked about before, is the mayor going to try and sneak a debt exclusion? Which this is community. If he tries to sneak a debt exclusion down, needs to fight tooth and nail to stop it.
Yeah, they better, or they're responsible for it.
Yeah,
not the mayor.
Oh, we'll be.
The mayor is always going to try to take what he can take. I've never seen.
We're already going to be screwed on this
take what they can take. If the people don't get out there and fix it, that's on them.
That's on them.
Sorry, yep. You can only feel bad so much. 100,000 people here. You got 13,000 of them that actually voted. Most of them have no idea, or they're the wealthy anyway, and it doesn't affect them, and they don't even live out here.
Oh, one more thing, everyone. So, I know we're talking. I want one more thing before we do end. I know we've been talking a lot about those other personnel costs, other. I am looking into it. So hopefully in a week or two, we'll get a response and come back and we'll dissect where those monies have gone to in the past.
I need an other write-off for my taxes. That's what I need. I'm going to go to my boss and be like, can you pay me over here for other? And I want to see if that works. That should be tax-free, by the way.
Hey.
I wonder if that'll work.
Let's see what they use that money. I think it's important for the community to know.
All
right, everyone.
All right.
We will be back Friday, and hopefully we'll talk about what happened at the city council meeting. We'll talk about matters that mean a lot to this community. Sorry, I'm a little distracted, but hope everyone has a great rest of their night, and I'll see everyone Friday. Good day, everyone.